Now, he's a pirate. This is a very cool piece. Very popular choice with quite a few young cellists that I meet. But you have to be super careful because we've all seen the films. We know the soundtrack. We know how the music goes. But when we're watching films, we're not really thinking about how the music or the rhythm is constructed. So you have to be really careful about understanding where the beat is in the bar. And then you fit your notes around the beat, not around the soundtrack to the film. Okay, so what we have is 2 dotted crochet beats in each bar. And you start after the second one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you have to start with your bow on the string. So I'll start here, round about the balance point of the bow. That's a good place to start. So something like that, put your bow on the string, little bows, and kind of gritty. Make them sort of bite the string. And when I say little bows, I mean don't travel too far. Okay, so it goes 1, 2, 1, 2. So try that a few times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then you've got he's a pirate, he's a pirate, he's a pirate on the high seas. Okay, so think of those words if that helps. He's a pirate, he's a pirate, he's a pirate on the high seas. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now when I play my B flats, I deliberately don't move my hand back, and you shouldn't either. If you're going to play a B flat, you just want to lift your wrist up a little bit. How many times have you been told to do that? Lift your wrist up a little bit and point to the B flat. And you leave all the other fingers that are playing their notes straight after the B flat. They'll be in the right place. If you go back to the B flat and play from behind it, your tuning will be affected, and you don't want that to happen. So think of the rhythm. 1, 2, on the string, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now this bit I haven't said anything about the shifting yet. I'm coming to that. But every time we have the 2 quaver rest bit, I lift my bow and I place it back to the preferred starting point on the bow. So you have this sort of imaginary sort of marker on your bow. And every time you're going to come in again with a da da da, you're going to start in the same part of the bow. Watch what I do. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, in a minute. Now what about this shift? So this shift in bar 14, it's a tiny shift. It's a semitone. All you've got to do is a semitone shift. But do not leave it to your fingers. You know when you shift, the whole arm is moved by the arm. The arm will move the whole unit to the new position. Even the tiniest shifts. I can't stress this enough. Don't grip with your thumb. There should be no squeezing here. It's the weight of your arm that holds your fingers on the strings, and your thumb stays in the middle of the hand. You want to play a semitone further forwards. Your arm, you see how my arm's doing it? If I do it with just my fingers, you see the difference? That's the difference. And I see a lot of young players trying to do that. It doesn't work, never will. So shift, even the tiniest shifts with the whole arm. Just shove it along a little bit. So this bit, bar 14, all you're doing is putting 1 where 2 currently is. So you're playing 2, 2, 1, 3, 4, 2, 2, line it up. So 1 is now where 2 is in the fingerprint that 2 was just making. 2, 2, 1, 3, 4. And if it's exactly in the fingerprint, the footprint, you'll be in the right place. It will be in tune. So bar 14, tiny shift. And then in the rests, we go back. You see how I lifted my arm? I lifted the weight off the string as I go back to first position. So let's put all that together. Every time you start that rhythm, you're going to start in the favourite, best place, that balance point of the bow. And every time you shift, it's your arm takes you. No matter how big or small the shift, the arm pushes the hand, including your thumb, into the new position. So the rhythm, 1, 2, 1. There's the rhythm. 1, 2, 1. On the string. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1. Tiny shift. 2, 1, 2. Obviously, I'm only playing the second time bar because if you're doing this for an exam, you won't do it with repeats. So you practice going straight on. So the second time bar, 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's 6 notes, they're the same length. But don't think of it just that way. It's got to be ba, 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 ba. So halfway through your second note is the second beat of the bar. If you've got a metronome, oh, that would be so useful. And don't take the speed setting that's actually at the top of your piece. That's something you can aim for. But while you're practicing, you want to do everything slower so you can put everything into place. And then when everything is working really how you want it, then you can just turn the metronome up notch by notch or step by step. And it's almost like you're not noticing that you're starting to play it quicker. But do it with a metronome and you will ensure that you stay rhythmic all the way through changing your tempo. Okay, so second time bar, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Now, look what I did here. I lifted my bow back to that preferred starting point for those 2 little quavers, and I kept my hand over the 4th finger first position, and I simply pointed back to the B flat. It will be perfectly good enough because your first finger is much stronger and longer than your pinky. So keep your hand, your arm weight over your 4th finger and just reach out for your B flats. 2, 1. Now, this next position, there's where your 4th finger is. You're going to semitone above with a 2. So, line up 1 with the note you just played and add a 2. We're going into 3rd position. There we are. Put 1 there, add a 2, and stay there. And then you've got a couple of bars, or almost a couple of bars rest, and then put your bow in the same preferred starting point. 1, 2. Now that bit in bar 28, look, it's a tiny shift. I swap 4 for a 3, so we're into 2nd position. It's a tiny shift again. It's a semitone. But my arm takes my hand to that new position. We're not going to do this because we need all our fingers to be in the same distance from each other. If you start doing that, you're distorting your hand shape. Okay, so don't do that. So this is upbeat into 28. That's all it is. Tiny shift. 1, 2, 1, 2. Home to first position. And then again, the same thing. Semitone shift. The arm does everything. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now this is a different shift. This is cleanly into 2nd position. We're going from B flat, and we're going to put our first finger where 2 would live normally. How do we do it? The arm takes your first finger from the B flat to to a C natural. And then you're in position for those next 5 notes. That's why we do all the shifting, you know, so that we can get as many notes under one hand, one position, before we have to move again. We don't want to be moving around for every note. It would make everything very clunky, very bulky, and not so musical. So here we go. Stay there. Shift home. Now that bar, this is 41 to 43. Watch out there. That rhythm will, I would put a bet on it. I'm not a betting lady, but I would put a bet on it that entry, those 2 quavers, are often missed by young players because it's the only time the rhythm happens squarely on beat 2. And you're not going to get caught out by it because I just told you. Okay, so biggest secret in the world, don't get caught out in bar 43. So it goes like this: 41, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you have to grab beat 2 with your open A. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, again, 1, 2, 1, 2. Because every other time you've played 2 quavers, they've been after beat 2. So 1, 2, da 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 da. All your quavers happen after beat 2, except in bar 43. Can't stress it strongly enough. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Semitone up. Look, I didn't push the pinky up on its own. That's uncomfortable to do. The arm just says, go on, I'll shove you up there. So this is the fortissimo, bar 44, up the semitone, and then stay there. Now go back to first position. B flat, point to it, and then now put a 1 there. That note you just played, go to third position. That 4th finger, line up 1. How are you going to do it? Your arm takes you. So stay there. Look at that. All of that is in one position. So if you get that shift accurate, all of the next 3 bars are going to be sounding fantastic. So if I show you again, I'm going to go from the fortissimo bar, which is bar 44. 1, semitone forwards, stay there. Now go back to first position, B flat, and then a quick shift to a 1. Home, first position. And then the next bit, if I do it in time now, so from the open A, bar 50. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1. And if you do a lovely big upbeat movement in the air to plonk your bow on the string for that last chord, it looks great and it'll sound beautiful because you'll be in time. So what you want is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, lift, play. Okay, so the rhythm, reminding you of the rhythm. All those little upbeat quavers, the pairs, come in after beat 2. It goes like this. Bow on the string, tiny bows for your quavers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Preferred place again. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Preferred place. 1, 2, 1. Tiny shift. Little shift back. 22. Play that and now shift to the new position. So we've got 4th finger in first position and then we replace 4th finger with 1 but put a 2 next to it and that's your next note. 4, replace 4 with a 1, and then add a 2, semitone higher. So the fortissimo in bar 20, 1, 2, 1, shift, and then 1, 2, on the string, little bows, tiny shift, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, tiny shift, 2, home to first position, preferred place in the bow, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, little shift, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, stay there, now you shift, 2, 1, 2, swap with the 1, you're in third position, go home, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, I would suggest when you're practicing this, everybody will often, I will hit this with the first half working really well and the second half more doubtful. So why don't you start your practice from the second half? And if you practice the end first, the beginning will feel so much easier because you've done all the nifty rhythms by practicing the second half of the piece first. If you've got a metronome, use it because it's so good at teaching you to play completely relaxed and beautifully in time. Okay, if you don't try to fight it, the metronome is right. So if it's not playing with you, it's the other way around. You have to match and look into the metronome. Okay, and then when you come to perform it, if you're doing it in your exam, the examiner will know, my goodness, this young musician knows how to practice rhythm. And if you can do that, and remember to practice in small sections, don't play all the way through the piece, practice the bits that need to be fixed and teach your fingers to do it without you thinking. And that's good muscle memory. Okay, enjoy, good luck.